Welcome you all again in this course Systematics of Angiosperms. Previously we have explored the family that from the Gametophyte subclass, and last we have learned about the family Acanthaceae. Today we will explore the family Lamiaceae, which is also called as mint family. Now moving towards the classification of this particular family Lamiaceae, and Bentham-Inoka system of classification, this family is placed in the class Dolicholidae and the subclasses Gametophyte and series Bicarpellate, in which order is Lamiaceae, and the previous name of this particular family is Labiate, and now it changed to the Lamiaceae due to the rules of botanical code of nomenclature. And according to England parental system, this family is also placed in class Dicotyledone, and the subclass of this particular family is Archiclamidae, and the order is Parietes, in which the family is Lamiaceae or Labiate. Now moving towards the distribution of this particular family, as I have told you, this family is commonly called as mint family, which has a worldwide distribution with around 260 genera and more than 3000 species. And in India it also has a quite number of good representation, like it represented by around 400 species. Basically, these plants are mainly distributed in the Mediterranean regions, and in India there is a main two center of distribution, that is the South India and Northwestern India, but it is also present in all the regions of India, but these are the main two regions of its distribution. And this plant family produces many herbs plants like basil, mint, oregano, sage, lavender. All these are the very popular herbs which is produced by this particular family, that is Lamiaceae. Now moving towards the vegetative character of this particular family. Now first of the habit. Plants of this particular family are mostly annuals or perennial herbs, and they mostly inhabiting in the temperate region, and plants become shrubby and warmer condition climatic zones, and tree and climbers are rare for this particular family. They have a branch taproot system. The next important in this particular family is the stem. They have a quadrangular stem with hair, glandular hair on their plant body, especially on their stems and leaves. Now moving towards the stem, these plants have a quite interesting, they have a quadrangular type of stem that have a angles, and they have a hairs on their stem. These have a glandular hairs. Because of that, they have a particularly aromatic smells in these plants. Then the leaves are generally simple, opposite decussate. As we can see here, the leaves are simple type and they have a arrangement which is opposite decussate. These leaves are exstipulate. Generally, there is a 3 to 8 leaves arranged in a whorl system in some genera also, and the leaves are also have a small hair, glandular hairs. We can closely, if you closely see the leaves, they have a glandular hairs. So the presence of these hairs on the stems as well as on the leaves give them a particular aromatic smell that secretes the oils, and the margins of the leaves is serrate margins, as you can see in these particular images. So they have a generally herbaceous habit, and the characteristic that have a quadrangular stem, and the leaves have a opposite decussate with serrate margin exstipulate, and both stem and leaves have a trichome glandular hairs that give the aromatic odor of this particular family. Now moving towards the floral characters. First of all, inflorescence. Inflorescence is the characteristic in this particular family, that is the verticillata type, which is main characteristic which present in this particular family. A verticillata is the modification of a cymose inflorescence, and the flowers are bisexual, mostly zygomorphic. Sometimes they also actinomorphic, complete and hypogynous, As we can say here, as we can see in this particular image, flowers are bilabiate, they have a two-leaved structure, and the inflorescence type is verticillaster. A verticillaster is a compound cyme in which axils of opposite leaves become dichasium. In produce, first each branches of dichasium subsequently become monochasium through scarpoid fashion. Like this one is the stem, and these two branches as are arranged in the through the scarpoid fashion, and there the flowers are sessile in general around the stems. So you can see this is the bract, this one is the bunch of flower which present either side of the stem, and this modified type of cyme is termed as the verticillaster, which is a special type of inflorescence which present in this particular family, and this it is a characteristic feature of the family Euphorbiaceae. Now moving towards the floral characters, first of all starting from the calyx. Calyx are composed of 5 sepals, they are gamosepalous, and sometimes they are campanulate, tubular, they may be persist, and they have a free lobes or teeth. Sometimes they also become bilabiate, and generally they have a valvate or imbricate estivation. But sometimes they also have a quincultial estivation, which is quite rare in. Now moving towards the next floral part, that is corolla. Corolla, it is also represented by 5 petals, all them are united, that means they are gamopetalous, and consist of a tube and limb. The tube is straight or bent wide towards the mouth, as we can see here. The limb is generally two-limbed, as we can see. This is the tube and these are the limbed, and they generally show the imbricate estivation. So as we can see in these images, the corolla is, flower is bilabiate, and these are the calyx and the corolla which is bilabiate or two-limbed. This is the tube and these are the limbs. This is the upper limb and this one is the lower limb. Now moving towards the next floral character, that is androecium. The stamens are generally 4 in number and they are arranged in a 2 pairs, as you can see here. These 2 are the largest and 2 are the smallest, and this represent the didynamous condition, and they are further also attached to the petals, that is the epipetalous condition, and they generally alternate with the lobes of corolla. The 2 stamens called the 2-celled anther having connective in between the 2 cells, and anther dehisced by the longitudinal slits. As we can see in this particular image, this you can see here the 2 pairs of stamens which arranged, 2 are the larger size and 2 are the lower, and they are showing the didynamous condition, and they are totally fused with the corolla, that representing the epipetalous condition, and this is the diagrammatic that also show the didynamous condition in which 2 are larger and 2 are shorter, and which these stamens anthers are dehisced by the longitudinal division. Now moving towards the next floral character, that is the gynoecium. Gynoecium is bicarpellary, syncarpous and superior ovary. In early stages, ovary is bilocular, but later it becomes tetralocular due to the formation of a false septum, and the style it arises from the base of the ovary or locule. As we can see here, the style is arising from the base of the ovary or locule, and this type of style is termed as the gynobasic style, and the presentation is axial type. So the characteristic of this, that is the presence of a gynobasic style. The style is arises from the base of the ovary, as we can see from these particular images. This one also showing the gynobasic style, and these are the diagrammatic figure which is showing the presence of a gynobasic style. If we see the fruits are 4 one-seeded nutlets within the persistent calyx, as we can see here, and the seeds either non-endospermic or with scanty endosperma, and the pollination type is entomophilous. And if we see the floral diagram, generally they have a zygomorphic symmetry with bisexual flower, and the calyx is 5, corolla is also 5, 4, and the gynoecium is bicarpillary syncarpa superior ovary. The condition of corolla is although gamosepalous and they may be bilabiate as we have discussed earlier. You can see in this particular image. So, the floral formula of this particular family is modified depending upon the flower. They may have a corolla which are either 2 by 3 in arrangement or 4 by 1, or sometimes they all the corolla is arranged only a one leaf structure as shown here. So, androecium is also 2 plus 2 and the gynoecium. So, this is the floral diagram of this particular family, and you can see here this is the upper leaf of the corolla and this is the lower leaf of the corolla, and you can see the ovary there is a style which is arise from the base of the ovary, and the base there is a presence of a nectary, and this one is the pedicel of the flower, and the filaments they are arranged generally on the upper lip of the corolla as we have seen in this particular figures, that the stamens are arranged generally on the upper lip of the corolla, which showing the didynamous condition. As you can see in this the floral diagram, and in this you can clearly see the TS of ovary showing the axile presentation, in which these are the calyx which shows the arrangement that is imbricate type, and corolla is also showing the imbricate when showing the bilabiate condition, the 4 stamens, and the TS of ovary which showing the axile presentation. Now moving towards the diagnostic feature, as we have seen this particular family has a many diagnostic feature that present in this particular family, starting from the aromatic odor due to the presence of glandular hairs on the stems and leaves. These particular plants have a aromatic oils that yield the essential oil. Then stem is rectangular as we have seen, and you can also see here there is a rectangular stem that are very quite seen in the cross section of this particular plants, and the leaves are opposite decussate. This rarely alternate and they are extracellular. Their leaves are also have a glandular hairs, and the next characteristic the presence of inflorescence, that is the verticilluster type of inflorescence, and then the flowers are zygomorphic, bisexual, and they have a hypogynous and bracteate flowers. They also have a bilabiate flower condition, that means the corolla is of a form of a two-leaf structure. Then calyx is gamosepalous and persistent to the flowers, and corolla is bilabiate as we can see from this particular stage. This is the tube and these are the limbs of the corolla. The stem is represented by the 4 number which are epipetalous and didynamous in condition as we can see here, and the whole filament is fused with the corolla that representing the epipetalous condition, and gynoecium is 2 4-celled by the formation of false septum that make it the tetralocular, showing the axile presentation with gynobasic style and seated on the lobute disc. So, this is the gynoecium and the style arises from this particular center, and the fruit is schizocarpic carculus. So, these are the some diagnostic feature that present in the family Euphorbiaceae. Now moving toward the some important plants of the family Lamiaceae, like there are some species of coleus like Coleus amboinicus, which is called as the pathorcher, which is a herbaceous plant and leaves are used in the flavoring of food products. Then Coleus rotundifolius, which is also called as the kurkan in Hindi. It has a tuberate stem which used as a vegetable. Then the most common plant of this particular family in India, that is the Mentha arvensis, which is also called as a pudina, which is a perennial aromatic herb and used for the flavoring purpose carbonative, and also yield the essential oil that obtained from the leaves of this particular plant. Then Mentha spicata, which is also called as the pahadi pudina. It is also yield the essential oil and it is a source of a spearmint. It is obtained from the leaves of this particular plant. Then leucus, which is also called as the gutta tomba, and the leaf juice used in the cold, headache and skin diseases. Then the another most common plant, that is the Ocimum sanctum, which is also called as a tulsi. This is a very common plant in India, and it is also considered as the holy plant all over the country, and it is grown in the every Hindu families. It is a small shrub with several medicinal properties. Seeds are also used in a control urinogenital diseases. Then salvia officinaceae, it is also called as the sage. It used as a ornamental plant and also as a herbal medicine. Then Origanum vulgare, which yield the oregano, it is a culinary herbs. So these are the some important plants of the family Lamiaceae. Now moving towards the example that is most particularly present in India, that is the Ocimum sanctum. As you can see, this is the floral diagrams and the floral parts of the plant, the Ocimum sanctum. This image showing the floral parts of the Ocimum sanctum plants. As you can see, this is a swingle twig which is showing the arrangement of leaves at it. Here you can see this is the opposite type. Then if you see the flowers, their inflorescence, they have a particularly verticillata type of inflorescence. As you can see, one inflorescence which is enlarged here, it is showing the verticillata inflorescence, which is a modified cymose. And if you see the flowers are typically zygomorphic, and there is a calyx, and this one is the corolla. So, calyx, this represented by, and the corolla, there is a two bilabiate structure, and there is a presence of a gynobasic style that arises from the base of the ovary, and the stigma is bifid, and this TS of ovary showing that this is a tetralocular structure which become tetralocular due to the formation of a false septum. Earlier it is a bilocular structure, and this one is the fruit of Lamiaceae family. And now you can see this is the floral diagram that shown in this particular image. They have a calyx which is also bilabiate, corolla is also bilabiate structure. Stamens is represented by 4 number, they are in the didynamous condition, and the TS of carpel ovary showing the exile presentation, and there is a tetralocular. So this plant, that is the Ocimum sanctum, showing the all the characteristic feature we have studied earlier in this particular family, which is all presented in this particular species, that is the Ocimum sanctum. Now moving towards the economic importance of this particular family Lamiaceae. As we have discussed, this particular family has a many economic importance due to the presence of herbaceous, and they also have a aromatic odor. So the first, that is moving toward the, that is a food, like tubers of Strychnis are edible. Then the leaves of Mentha, Ocimum, Melissa, they are also used as a condiments, and they also yield essential oils. Now moving towards the medicinal property, this particular plant have a many medicinal benefits like ajuga, leucus, they are used in fever. Mentha piperata, xerophyllum gives menthol and thymol respectively, which are extensively used in medicine. And the leaves of Ocimum calamanthus caricum gives the camphor, which is commonly called as kapoor plant. Now moving towards the next plant species, which is also very common, that is the Ocimum sanctum. This species is also used in various ailments. Now moving towards the next economic importance, that most of the plants are also used as the ornamental plants like salvia, coleus, ajuga, leonotis, dracocephalum, thymus, levenula. These all have a beautiful flowers and cultivated in a garden for ornamental purposes. Then as we have discussed earlier, the leaves and stem of these particular plants have a glandular hairs that yield essential oils, and due to this reason this particular family is also used in the perfume industry. like the oils extracted from the thymus, lavandula, which is also called as the lavender oils, or rosmarinus, which is also called as the rosemary or calamintha, pogostemon. These oil used in the perfume industry. And the next, that is the family. This family also has a dye yielding plant, like fruits of Calycopus yield red dye. Red dye. Though these are the some examples of this particular. The fruits of Lycopus yield red dye. So these are the some examples of this particular family, Lamiaceae. Now moving towards the primitive characters which present in this particular family. So some members are perennial shrubs. The leaves is simple type, as we have seen earlier. The flower are hermaphrodite, hypogynous, colored and scented, and they are pollinated by insects. These are the some primitive character which is present in this particular family. But if we see the advanced character, there is a list, quite large list of the advanced character which is present in this particular family. Like most of the plants are herbaceous in nature, as we have seen mentha. These are the herbaceous nature plant, lavender, and the leaves are generally exstipulate and they have a opposite or whorled arrangement. Flowers is distinct inflorescence which is termed as the verticillata. This is a quite characteristic in this particular family, and the flowers are zygomorphic, and in some it is also unisexual, like in case of Iboza. And the calyx is gamosepalous and bilabiate. Corolla is also gamopetalous and bilabiate. Stamens is epipetalous and sometimes it reduced to 2, and they show the didynamous condition when present in the 4. They are also epipetalous. Then gynoecium is bicarpellary, syncarpous, superior with exile presentation. Then one ovule per locule is present, which is also an advanced characteristic. Then fruit is simple type and seeds are generally non-endospermic. So you can see there is a quite long list of advanced characteristics which is present in this particular family, and due to this family has a position. Hutchinson therefore placed this family at the end of the Gamopetalae. And earlier we have studied the Acanthaceae family, and you can see there is a many similar characteristics present in the both Acanthaceae as well as in the Lamiaceae family. These two families differentiated on the basis of the, like Acanthaceae family does not have a quadrangular stem. Now come to the affinities of this particular family. This family is placed by Engler, Hellier, Wettstein, Rendell in the Tubiflorae, and we have earlier studied the Acanthaceae family, and this family is have a very close alliance with the Acanthaceae family. Is just distinguished by the Acanthaceae by these following characters, like the presence of quadrangular stem and aromatic stem, verticillata inflorescence, then the didynamous condition of stamens, and the gynobasic style with tetralocular ovary and the calculus fruits. So as we can see, have seen earlier that this particular family has a many advanced characteristics. Due to the presence of this is the one among the most advanced one of the most advanced family of Gamopetalae, and because of this particular region, this particular family is placed in the end of the Gamopetalae by the Hutchinson. So that's all for today. Now we will learn about the next we will learn about the family that is belong to the Monoclamidae. That's all for today. Thank you all for hearing me patiently. That's all for today.